Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, David Benavidez is coming with some extremely harsh words in regards to Canelo Alvarez. Now, originally, the thought was that you had to be kind to Canelo, shower him with superlatives, be respectful in order to get the opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez. And that's what Team Benavidez originally did, Jose Benavidez Sr. and David Benavidez. But to no avail, they still did not get the opportunity to fight him. And so now they've taken the gloves off a bit, Jay, and they've been a little bit more harsh here over the last several months as they became frustrated with the fact that they haven't had the opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez. Now, David Benavidez recently was on $1 million worth of game, and I do want to play this clip here very quickly so that we can react to it because it's interesting what he's saying. And so let me go ahead and get that started, Jay, so that the people can hear it, and then we'll react to it. Here's the audio clip.
Used to be, just me personally.
Well, look at this. Okay, and I'm gonna throw another thing at you guys. When the greatest Canelo came out, the one that you guys seen that fought Triple G the first time, bro, dude popped dirty for clenbuterol, bro. Why do you think the second fight didn't happen? So, for me, seeing that was the best Canelo I've ever seen, but that was Canelo off of steroids. Everybody else that he fought Amir Khan, he fought Daniel Jacobs. He fought, what the f is his name? Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. These guys are all weak, bro. 12 knockouts. So for me, that's why I feel like I see Canelo Alvarez and I see like he's not as good as everybody thinks. Because the best one that fought Golovkin that first time was off clenbuterol. That was the best Canelo I've ever seen, and that's why he looked so good, because he was off clenbuterol.
Well, that was the best Ryan Garcia.
So that's an interesting statement there from David Benavidez. And it's interesting that this came up because someone accused us yesterday, I'm not going to say any names, but they accused us yesterday of advocating or saying that Canelo, calling Canelo a cheat, but then saying Ryan Garcia, there was no impact from Osterine using a source, which at the time in which Canelo Alvarez was busted for clenbuterol. What year was that? 2018?
2018.
We didn't have a channel then. And we've never even commented on Canelo Alvarez and this clenbuterol. But it's interesting that he's saying this. Now, one of the differences is with Ryan Garcia is that Ryan Garcia actually went into the ring with this in his system. And Canelo was caught in February, right before their May fight in 2018 against against Triple G. So that was the rematch that they were planning to have. And because he was caught with the clenbuterol, the fight was canceled and he was suspended.
Yep.
So right now, the thing about it, and again, I didn't know a whole lot about this whole situation because I knew that Canelo got busted for clenbuterol. However, I didn't do much research on it because at the time I didn't really care. But
we didn't have channel either.
Exactly. So clenbuterol was caught in his system, but the thing about it is David Benavidez is making an assertion that he had it in his system in the first fight. He didn't test positive for it in the first fight. David Benavidez is assuming that he had it in his system in the first fight, and that was the best he ever looked in his first fight. And really, he's trying to point out the fact that he's a steroid cheat, and since he's been off the clenbuterol, that's what he's stating. I believe this is I think this is what he is implying, Jay, is that since he's been off the clenbuterol, he doesn't look to be the same fighter. And we've seen there's been a decline in Canelo Alvarez here recently. But the decline, to me, has been really since I thought he still looked pretty good in the Bivol fight. It's just been recently, he's starting to fade a little bit. He's not as sharp, doesn't seem as fast to me. He's fallen off a bit. But it's very hard to tie that back to clenbuterol because that whole situation happened in 2018. And so since 2018, Jay, let's see. I got his box rec up here. Since 2018, he had the second Triple G fight, Rocky Fielding, Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev, Callum Smith, Yildirim, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant, Dmitry Bivol, Gennady Golovkin 3, John Ryder, Charlo, and Jaime Munguia. So he's had several fights. And to me, he started looking like he was declining. I think maybe in that Golovkin, that other Golovkin fight. Dimitri Bivol, I still thought he looked good, but I just thought Bivol was too much for him. I thought he looked good in the Caleb Plant fight as well. So it's a strong assertion that he's making here in terms of the clenbuterol, but I think this is part of the ploy to try to get up under Canelo's skin. He's saying that he's really not that good. Jay, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I see what David's trying to do. I think right now David's just tired of the BS from Canelo. So he's going, whatever's out there, he's going to throw at him. You know, and it's fair game. You know, they started out being respectful and they just got screwed over. They've been the mandatory for 2 to 3 years, and Canelo just fought that list of people that you just mentioned that don't stack up to David. And David's fought to be the mandatory. So I'd be frustrated. I don't know about the accusations that he was on in the first fight when it wasn't proven that he was, you know. And also it was like after that fight, he got popped like around April. When they came out with that test on February 17th, February 20th, he also had surgery that same year, that same month in April, actually. So it's almost he got that time off to really have the surgery and recover before, you know, continuing his career at that point in time. But I'm not mad at David at all. You know, I don't necessarily say I agree with it, that was the best he looked in the first fight against Triple G, or that was a reason on that as well. But nah, I mean, I understand David's frustration with this whole situation, and it's deserving. He's deserving of being frustrated because he's been screwed out of getting that fight with Canelo for all types of excuses out there. So yeah, that the knee injury, that the remove a cyst from his knee in April that coincided with him being suspended is just kind of curious, questionable for me on that as well. It's only like a 4 to 6 month time frame that he's got taken out for that suspension, you know, and then he comes back and fights that list of people that you mentioned outside everyone but Dave Benavidez. So being nice, Canelo doesn't get you to necessarily get you to fight. Talking, you know, ish about him doesn't get you to fight. He ain't gonna fight you unless he thinks he can beat you.
I agree. So one thing I do want to clarify before we end this video is that we are not stating whether or not clenbuterol has had any impact in terms of Canelo Alvarez, whether it has or it hasn't. The two situations between he and Ryan are completely different. Ryan went into the ring with Osterine in his system, and we referenced an expert on the drugs who talked about whether or not it had any impact on Ryan Garcia. We have never stated whether or not clenbuterol had any impact on Canelo Alvarez. Now, apparently, supposedly, I have not seen this, but supposedly, this same expert said that the clenbuterol wouldn't have given Canelo Alvarez any benefit either. We are not commenting on whether it did or it didn't in a fight because he never got in the fight with the clenbuterol in his system, at least tested positive for clenbuterol after a fight.
Yep.
So arguments like this that people create to try to argue against us is really, really incredible to me. So I just wanted to make that clear, though. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to this. Is David Benavidez pushing the right button in order to get the opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez? I don't know about that. I don't think Canelo's going to fight him no matter what, but we'll see.
Exactly.
You guys let us know what you think. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are